This is Corruption Load. I am Matilda Inanifa.
And I'm Chantal Essex.
And today we are uncovering the unknown right here in Sumet.
At the Rubicon Group offices of Mr. Christo Groenewald about the Ndobo property.
Former Onkopolo mine property manager Christo Groenewald says he is the legitimate owner of Ndobo hostel despite claims by tenants to the contrary. He's accused of having appropriated the former TCL mine workers compound to himself through corrupt means by using his position and influence at the time.
Yeah, so we are basically here on behalf of the Ndobo property. Can you please tell us a bit of the background of the Ndobo property and how you obtained it?
Yeah, the Ndobo property used to be called the old TCL hostel. TCL is Sumet Corporation Limited. It was a mining company who built that property way back in the early 1950s. And it was used to accommodate men that worked in the mine, single quarters. So then, in the year 1998, Sumet Corporation Limited went bankrupt. They were put in provisional liquidation. And then 7 different liquidating companies were appointed to manage the affairs of TCL at that point in time. The liquidators had to evaluate all the properties. And the reason for that was that during this time of that time period which TCL was in liquidation, it was the task of the liquidators to see how best they can obtain funds from the old TCL to pay the creditors. Now, the idea was to sell the mine to someone else, and to do that they have to maintain everything. They have to keep the mine dry because underground there are pumps to pump water. And they had to pay for security to guard the premises. So that cost money, and where should it come from? It must be generated from something. And the idea was then to sell the property to whoever is interested. So liquidators then got permission from the Master of the High Court to sell the non-core assets, to generate money, to pay, say, manpower for electricity, to run the pumps, pay security companies, to guard the premises. A few officials that was looking for the liquidators had to be paid. So this list of properties were drawn up with corresponding values, and the master instructed the liquidator to sell the properties at those values. So anyone could come in to the offices. If you're interested in a property, you could see the price, and then you could buy it for that price. Right. But then after 2 years, and many properties were sold in that manner.
Yeah.
So then during this 2-year liquidation period, some of the old management of TCL, together with trade union officials, high-level officials, came together to construct a plan to take over the mining operation out of liquidation. So those officials then constructed this plan. They went to the liquidators and to the creditors, and there was kind of an arrangement that the business would be revived under this new ownership of previous management and union leaders and so on. Okay, so Ongopolo came into being. Ongopolo had various companies registered, but the one company was Ongopolo Mining Limited. Now, I understand there are issues about the ownership of this place. And now it is important to understand that TCL, it was a registered private company. If I remember correctly, its registration number was 325. I can check it, I'm not sure, but I think it's 325. So what happened is that very same company was taken over by Ongopolo Mining Limited. And until today, it is the same company. So what happened is that Ongopolo just changed the name from Tsumeb Corporation Limited to Ongopolo Mining Limited. But it was the same company. So that company, Ongopolo Mining Limited, being the old TCL, now inherited the old TCL, all the assets and operations. So they could start the operations again and do their mining. So their idea was to concentrate on core business and to do away with all non-core business, because it was argued that the non-core business and non-core assets were the ones that actually brought TCL into liquidation due to all the costs, related to that and expenses. So, and Ongopolo Mining Limited decided to carry on with the sale of these assets on the prices that the liquidators had determined. So then I was interested in that place, me and someone else. So actually the other guy came with the idea, can we not buy that place? I said to him, okay, fine, it's on the list. So when I approached Ongopolo management to buy the premises, they told me that due to the fact that I'm also involved in the management of Ongopolo, they would rather put it up for tenders. Otherwise it might sound like a conflict of interest situation. So it was then advertised on tender. And this was a board decision. I don't have the minutes of the board, but I can find it.
Yeah.
So it was then advertised on tender, nobody else tendered. So I was then the successful
Candidate.
tender.
Okay.
And at the board meeting it was awarded to me. What must also be understood is that at the time when the liquidators even wanted to sell the properties, this town was not organized in a manner that each of the houses or pieces of property was not on its individual titles. So in the title deeds office in Windhoek, you would find one title deed with many houses on it. So there was a project already undertaken before TCL went into liquidation to subdivide this whole town. And that is a very lengthy process. It has to go through town planning processes and so on. But eventually, 90% of it was just subdivided and could have been sold already during liquidation and even before liquidation. TCL sold some of it. But now this property, which is called Endovo today, was not subdivided at that point in time. It was part of this mining area stretching here from the traffic lights here at the bottom, around up to where Tsumeb West mine is situated currently, behind Kavuki land. It's one piece of land. with a title. Now, at the time when I bought it, it was not subdivided yet on its own title. But there was a drawing of, what I was buying. So now it took a while for the subdivision process to be completed, and that was only completed in 2006. But in the meantime, since 2002, when I bought it, the contract was stipulating that I'm allowed to occupy the premises, but then I have to pay occupational interest. And that is a clause that you find in every contract all over the country in any case. Before a property is transferred into your name, you are allowed to occupy, but then you have to pay this occupational interest. So then only in 2006 it was transferred into my name, or not my name, my personal name, into this into a company called Indolo Properties, Pty Limited. But I've already started to conduct operations in 2002 when I got occupation. So since then, when I took occupation, I've started to rent out the different rooms and facilities in the property. And there was a big demand for it. So much so that there were 25 rooms which were kind of renovated to a certain extent by even TCL already before their closure. And only those 25 rooms, I allowed occupation for those 25 because I wanted to do some renovations to the rest of the rooms. There are about 200 of them. Then people came along to say, and their words were, you don't know where we are staying. These are hotel rooms. You don't have to repair them. Please give it to us. So I started to rent out those rooms also. So, but in any case, so that is what it was.
Basically.
Until, it was about April 2017, when a handful of people thought that they want to take law in their own hands, if you can call it like that. They started to refuse payment and they influenced the rest of the tenants not to pay me. They seized that whole place up until today. It's like the land grab situation that happened. And people are making accusations, you are saying.
Yeah.
But I also want the opportunity to make accusations against the justice system of this country. It is now almost 3 years and nothing is happening from criminal cases that I've made and laid at the police since the beginning. I have made several cases in this Sumer Magistrates Court, which after a year has not even started to be heard. So then I decided I will go to High Court. So I registered the case in the High Court. And, the case is in its process to be heard, but it's time consuming. I've just heard last week that the case will appear in High Court during May next year. But that case, everybody thinks the case is about me to prove that I'm the owner. It's not about that. It is about me seeking the eviction of 20 of those tenants. And an order by the court for them to pay me. And it's only for 20. The rest must still be taken to court. But the idea was, it's an expensive exercise to go to court. The idea was that if there's an outcome on this case, that the rest will just follow easily. But besides the fact that this magistrate court did not even hear my case after a year, In the beginning of this year, I've registered 20 cases again in this court. And I received court orders to evict them from the premises. It was granted to me. But now, the messenger of the court cannot do his work because he requires the assistance of the police. And the police is not helping me.
So people, the tenants that we interviewed and spoke to, say that you allegedly used your position and got the property, basically in a fraudulent way. So is that true or is that false?
To guard the property.
No, for ownership of the property.
Yes.
People are saying that you apparently used your position to obtain ownership of the property.
Which
Or
leads
in a
them-
fraudulent way, basically.
Which leads them not to want to
But it's
Yeah,
not true.
that's why
They
Yeah.
they feel like they shouldn't pay.
Okay, but that is no excuse for them not to pay. Why have they paid for 15 years or so? And all of a sudden now they realize they should not pay.
So is that true or not?
No, it's not true. I've just
Yeah.
explained to you.
Mhm.
It was put on a tender.
Yeah.
Yes. And I
So
tendered for it.
if we might know, if it's not confidential, like would you be able to tell us how much you bought the property on?
1 million.
1 million.
But then also I to conduct renovations and other stuff,
Mhm.
I've
Spent
invested
over.
more. So
Mhm.
eventually it was like about 3 million that I was investing there.
And the other thing that we wanted to ask you is about you having a private borehole, so you don't pay water to the ministry. People of the residents of Tumep say that they feel it's unfair that only one person gets that advantage. So what do you have to say about that?
It's very easy. That property is not within the municipal boundaries of Tumep municipality. It is on the outside. It is zoned as farmland. So when I bought it, it was actually a farm. So I applied for a permit from the Ministry of Agriculture to supply water, to drill the hole and to supply water. And I was granted a permit. So that is how I got hold of the permit. But now, the residents should not complain about it. Because if I get water from the municipality, it will be much more expensive than compared to the cost involved in supplying it from the borehole. And the consequence would be an increase in the rent. Because they are staying there for nothing. They are paying $560 a month. That was the rent per month. Inclusive of water.
$60.
Yeah.
500.
$560. Whereas in Kavuki land you would find a tin shack, half of the size, no water, no electricity for about $1,000. So every other tenant in this town, other resident, all along was just, it's so, they cannot believe that these guys are complaining and not paying me for what they are getting, compared to how they suffer to pay wherever they are, without all the services that these guys are getting. But now, okay, it's up to them. And I think when this whole situation is solved eventually, they will not be treated in that manner again. Then they will start to pay. I've treated them very well, and they will realize that very soon.
So right now they are still staying in that place without paying.
They don't pay.
And they have electricity and water supply.
Yeah, the water, I removed my pump about a year ago. So they installed their pump applying, I'm talking about, as I say, there's a committee which they formed there. And they're running the place for their pocket.
So what, like, did they give you, what demand did they give you in order for them to start paying again? Did they give you like any
No.
alternative?
They will just say, I'm not the owner. They won't pay
And
me.
that's where it ended.
Yeah, that's where it ended. And there was also this complaint of I'm not renovating the rooms, but if I'm not the owner, why should I renovate the rooms? And if I'm the owner, they've got a contract with me stating they must renovate their own rooms. It is in the contract. And there's nothing wrong with the rooms. The way they got it, it's the way it is. And I've got a team on the ground. If someone complains about anything in the room, my team attends to it. They don't even have to come and ask me. They approach my team directly because they are also living on the premises. So yeah, and that is their claim. And the other thing is, the other claim they had was that I'm providing them with contaminated water. So why are they not using the municipal water at the moment? Why are they still pumping from that borehole? They even went so far to install their own pump in that contaminated water. So why are they using it? So if I provide it, it's contaminated. If they provide it, it's not contaminated. So, you know, like it is now, I don't even come there. I don't have any interest there now. Because just about 3 weeks ago, they were sitting there with tires and petrol, claiming if I come there, or if the messenger of the court comes there, they will burn our vehicles.
So they have threatened you?
Yeah. But okay, it's not the reason why I don't come there. I mean,
Yeah.
what is there to come to? I've got a storeroom there, so if I need something from my storeroom, I go there and collect it. But other than that, nothing, because they took over everything. They are collecting the money for their own pockets. I don't know what they use it for. I mean, that is criminal. But nobody assists me. You go to the police station. How many charges have been laid against them? I've got fed up. I stopped laying charges. It's not helping me. So yeah, it is a situation, you know, which is very unfortunate. And in the meantime, I must pay the bank for my installment every month still at the moment. Where must the money come from? So yeah, and nobody's got mercy with this situation. And as I said, you know, the court gave its orders, but it's not carried out. So what kind of country is this? Where the justice system is failing. So yeah, and that is the story. Now, you know, what is funny, and I think it is also important. Mr. Libius Tobias, you know him, he's the
Yes.
constituency councillor.
Yes.
He tried also his best at one stage to try and resolve this issue. He called us together. And he really tried his best to see if we can solve it outside of court and so on. So the first thing he was asking me was to provide my proof of ownership. And when we left that meeting on that specific day, it was now in November last year, I immediately came to the office and sent my messenger to his office to provide him with a copy of the ownership, the deed of transfer, or as it also is called, the title deed. So 3 weeks later, we had a follow-up meeting. At that meeting, he was saying that he followed up on my title deed and he confirmed from the deeds office that it is valid, it is true. At that very same meeting, this so-called committee confirmed to say that they also agree now it's my property. The chairman of this committee is a certain Mr. Timbunga. He also claimed at that meeting that he was one of those guys who came from the rural area to Tsumeb without housing, without work. Rubicon provided him with work, and I provided him with accommodation. And he took it in the condition it was, He was satisfied with that. He explained it in that very same meeting. But when we went out of the meeting, there was an arrangement made between the two parties, between me and them. On my side, I carried out my obligation of what was discussed. But on their side, they failed to carry out their obligation. Just at the end of January the next year, this is now this year, beginning of this year, I told Mr. Tobias that this little agreement that we have made is now off the table because they are not abiding by their side of it. So we were back where we are. Now they're still playing, not my place, you know, but they want to drag out this thing for as long as possible because it's for their own benefit. Nobody is paying. And the ones that are paying to the committee, and I don't know what they are doing with the money. You can ask them. Because they are exploiting those people. A few of them is telling a lot of lies to the people, keeping them in the dark, convincing them to pay monthly for legal costs, I understand. And I don't know what else. But where is the money going? So I would be very curious to know eventually what happened to all the money. The problem is that the majority of the people, 90% of the people in there, they are misled.